Hi guys! Welcome sa Engineered Math Channel. Sa video na to ay tuturo ko sa inyo ang factoring polynomials, special factors. So kung gusto niyo itong matutunan, just keep on watching. Okay, meron na akong first part tsaka second part ng factoring polynomials. So, kung hindi nyo pa yung napapanood, ay lilink ko na lang para ma-check nyo. So, ngayon, sa video na to, ituturo ko naman sa inyo pagpa-factor ng polynomials that have special factors. So, ito, para siyang counterpart nung multiplication of polynomials with special products. So, kung ano yung natutunan natin doon sa multiplication of polynomials with special products, i-apply lang din natin dito sa special factors, which is reverse naman. I-undo lang natin yung multiplication. Gagawin lang natin special factors. Okay? Okay, let's have the first case, which is perfect square trinomial or perfect square quadratic trinomial. So, itong first case natin ng factoring of special factors, ito yung counterpart ng square of a binomial natin. So, di ba kung maalala natin, kapag mag-square tayo ng binomial, let's say, x plus y quantity square, ang ginagawa natin shortcut, square natin yung first term, so x squared, plus, multiply natin yung first at second term, so xy times 2, 2xy, okay? And then yung last term, square lang nung second term na y squared. Okay, so ganito rin yung gagawin nating form or format ng factor kapag naka-encounter tayo ng perfect square trinomial. So, ganito yung magiging form niya. Pero, para ma-apply natin tong factored form na to, kailangan mo nang i-determine kung perfect square trinomial nga ba yung isang quadratic trinomial. So, halimbawa, itong example number 1, x squared plus 2x plus 1. So, determine natin kung perfect square trinomial ba tong polynomial natin. Okay, yung first step, hanapin natin yung square root ng first term, which is x squared. So, we have square root of x squared is equal to x, diba? So, kung hindi kayo familiar sa square root, meaning, hanapin nyo lang yung factor na kapag minultiply nyo sa sarili niya, ang sagot ay x squared. So, ano ba yun? Diba x? So, kaya, square root of x squared is x. Okay, then, hanapin din natin yung square root nung last term, which is yung positive 1. So, square root of 1 is 1, right? Kasi, pag multiply nyo yung 1 sa sarili niya, 1 times 1, ang sagot ay 1 din. So, square root of 1 is 1. Actually, pwede ring negative 1 kasi negative 1 times negative 1 is 1 din. Pero, para malasan yung confusion natin, lagi na lang tayo mag-a-assume ng square root na positive. Okay? So, ngayon, after natin mahanap yung square root ng first term saka constant term or yung last term, i-multiply natin sila. So, x times 1, which is equal to x, right? And then, i-multiply nyo sa 2. So, we have 2x. Now, i-check nyo kung yung final answer nyo ba ay nagtali doon sa middle term. Okay? So, di ba para sa middle term na 2x? So, this time, positive 2x yung middle term. At yung nakuha nating product of x saka 1 times 2 is 2x. So, therefore, pareho sila. So, therefore, applicable dito yung factoring of perfect square trinomial or perfect square trinomial yung given nating factor. By the way, kung naging negative 2 man tong middle term natin, pwede pa rin natin siyang makonsidered na perfect square trinomial. So, i-disregard natin yung sign. As long as nagkapareho nung numerical coefficient, yung nakuha nating x times 1 times 2, which is 2x nga, considered pa na perfect square trinomial yun, kahit ginawa nitong negative. Ang magiging difference lang ay kapag finactor na natin using this form, yung quadratic trinomial. Okay? So, dahil nga na-satisfy yung condition, i-factor natin siya in this form. Okay? So, paano natin gagawin yon? So, sulat lang tayo ng parenthesis. And then, kung ano yung nakuha nating square root ng first term, diba, x yun? So, sulat lang natin dito as the first term. And then, ano yung sign ng second term? Diba, positive? So, therefore, sulat lang natin dito, plus din, or positive sign. Okay? Tapos, yung second term, diba kasi binomial siya, so dapat may second term tayo. Yun lang din yung square root ng constant. Diba yung square root of constant natin na 1 ay 1 din. So, susulat nyo lang dito sa dulo, or second term ay 1. And then, lalagyan nyo lang ng exponent na 2. So, therefore, ang answer natin ay x plus 1 quantity square. So, pag in-apply nyo yung shortcut, x squared plus 2x plus 1. So, di ba the same dito sa factor? Okay? Okay, next example, we have x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, determine muna natin kung perfect square trinomial ba tong polynomial natin. So, squared natin yung first term. So, we have square root of x squared is x pa rin. Tapos, yung square root nung last term or yung constant term na 4 ay square root of 4 is positive 2. Kasi 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so therefore, square root of 4 is positive 2. Ngayon, multiply natin. X times 2 is 2x. Then, multiply pa natin sa 2. So, magiging 4x. So, same ba dun sa middle term? Yes, same na 4x, right? But this time, meron tayong minus. So, therefore, kapag finactor natin yung trinomial na to, gagamit tayo ng minus sign in between dun sa dalawang terms. Okay, dun sa binomial. So, pwede natin apply yung factoring ng square of a binomial. So sulat lang muna tayo ng parentheses. And then, ano yung square root nung first term natin? So, di ba x, susulat natin dito as the first term. Then, dahil minus nga yung operation, yung symbol nung middle term, so, susulat din tayo ng minus sign dito. Okay? Tapos, yung second term ay yung square root nung last term o yung constant term na 4. So, square root of 4 ay 2 nga. So, sulat natin dito ay 2. And then, lagyan nyo lang lagi ng exponent na 2. So, therefore, the factored form is x minus 2 quantity squared. Okay? Okay, next example, we have 4x squared minus 12xy plus 9y squared. Okay, so hanapin uli natin yung square root ng first term. So, square root ng 4x squared ay 2x, right? Kasi 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Okay? Dito naman yung coefficient, square root naman nung last term. So, square root of 9y squared is, this time, 3y, right? Kasi 3y times 3y is 9y squared. Okay? Ngayon, multiply natin yung 2x saka yung 3y. So, ano yon? 6xy, di ba? Tapos, multiply pa natin ng 2. So we have 12xy. So, pareho ba nung middle term? So, pareho silang 12xy, right? Pero, ang sign ay negative. So, ayun gagamitin nating operation in between dun sa dalawang term nung binomial. So, therefore, ang factored form ay, yung first term ay yung square root nung first term na 4x squared, which is yung nakuha natin na 2x. Okay? And then, yung sign in between ay negative or minus sign kasi negative yung middle term. So, sulat natin minus. And then, yung last term or yung second term ng binomial ay yung square root nung last term na 9y squared, which is 3y nga. So, sulat natin 3y. Okay, and then, huwag natin kalimutan yung exponent na square nung quantity na binomial. So, therefore, the factored form is 2x minus 3y quantity squared. Okay? Okay, for the next case, we have the difference of two squares. So, x squared minus y squared is equal to x plus y times x minus y. So, di ba sa special product na encounter natin to, yung sum and difference of two same terms. This time, yung first term ay x at yung second term ay y. So, pag finactor natin yun, square lang natin yung first term minus square lang din natin yung second term. So, ganun din gagawin natin para ma-factor natin yung x squared minus y squared or any difference of two squares. So, for example, number 1, we have x squared minus 4. So, ito ay example rin ng difference of two squares. Kasi diba yung first term natin ay naka-square. Tapos, this time, yung second term natin ay 4. So, pwede natin isulat yan as 2 square, right? So, therefore, pwede natin isulat yung ifa-factor natin na x squared minus 2 squared. So, therefore, pareho silang naka-square at naka-minus sila. So, therefore, apply natin yung pagpa-factor na to. Okay? So, ang first term natin ay x. Ang second term natin ay 2. So, ang factored form niyan ay, so sulat tayong dalawang parentheses. Sulat nyo yung first term na, yung base ng first term na x. So, dito sa una, tsaka dito rin sa pangalawang factor. And then, doon sa pangalawang term, sulat nyo yung base nung second term, which is 2 yun, diba? So, 2 sa una, then 2 din sa pangalawa. And then, plus, saka minus lang din. So, lagyan nyo ng plus, saka minus. So, therefore, the factors of x squared minus 4 is quantity x plus 2 times quantity x minus 2. Okay? Okay, next we have 4x squared minus 9y squared. So this time, meron tayong variable tsaka numerical coefficient dun sa parehong term. So napansin nyo, itong first term natin na 4x squared, pwede natin yung i-rewrite as 2x quantity squared. Okay? Kasi, didistribute natin itong exponent, di ba? Pwede yung maging 2 squared x squared or 4x squared. So, ito yan. So, pwede natin i-rewrite yan as quantity 2x squared. Okay? Minus. Ito ring term na to, di ba? Pwede rin natin yung i-rewrite as quantity 3y squared. Kasi, pag distribute natin yung 2, magiging 9y squared siya. So, therefore, ito yung magiging form niya. 3y quantity squared. So, ngayon, dahil meron na tayong difference of two squares, this time, ang first term natin ay itong 2x. So, yan yung first term. And then, yung second term natin ay yung 3y. Pwede natin i-apply yung pagpa-factor ng difference of two squares. So, sulat ulit tayo ng dalawang parentheses. So, yung sa unang term ng dalawang factor ay yung first term natin na 2x. So, we have 2x saka 2x. Then, dun sa second term, meron tayong, so we have 3y dun sa second term ng first factor at 3y din dun sa second term ng second factor. And then, lagay lang kayo ng isang plus saka isang minus. Okay, so therefore, the factored form of 4x squared minus 9y squared is 2x plus 3y times 2x minus 3y. Okay, so kapag meron kayong numerical coefficient at saka meron kayong literal coefficient, gagawin nyo munang ganito. Okay, para yung buong first term nyo ay naka-enclose doon sa square. Okay, then saka nyo apply yung pagpa-factor. Okay? Okay, for the third example, we have 16x to the 6 minus y to the 4th. So, napansin nyo, hindi 2 yung exponent ng x natin as well as noong y natin. Kasi yung sa x, 6 siya, dun sa y, 4 siya. So, paano kapag ganon? So, kailangan natin mag-isip ng way na para maging 2 yung exponent ng x, saka 2 yung exponent ng y. So, apply natin yung law of exponent. Kasi diba itong 16x to the 6, pwede natin yung isulat as 4x cubed quantity squared. Okay? Kasi, pag distribute nyo tong 2, meron tayong 4 squared, tapos x raised to 3 times 2, or x to the 6. So, parang 4 squared or 16, x to the 6. So, ito yun. So, same lang din dito yun. So, nakita nyo, na-transform natin yung 16x to the 6 with the exponent of 2. But this time, yung magiging first term natin ay itong quantity na 4x cubed. Okay? Dun sa kabila, pwede natin i-apply yun dun sa y to the 4th. So, we have minus. Napansin nyo, itong y to the 4th, pwede natin isulat yan as y squared quantity squared. Kasi apply natin yung law of exponent ulit, i-multiply lang natin yung 2 sa 2. So, magiging y to the 4th. So, therefore, meron na tayong difference of two squares. This time, yung first term ay itong 4x cubed, tapos yung second term ay itong mismong y squared. So, pag finactor natin yan, sulat tayo dalawang parentheses. So, sulat natin yung first term. So, 4x cubed, tapos 4x cubed, okay? And then, dun sa second term, sulat natin yung second term na y squared. So, y squared, y squared. And then, meron isang plus, saka isang minus. So, therefore, the factored form is 4x cubed plus y squared times 4x cubed minus y squared. Okay? Okay, for the next example, we have 200a squared minus 8b squared. Okay, so dun sa mga variable natin na 8 tsaka sa b, pareho silang naka-square. So, meron silang parang exponent na 2. So, therefore, pasok dun sa category yung mga variables na difference of two squares. How about dun sa mga constants? So, yung 200, napansin nyo, hindi siya perfect square kasi wala kang mamultiply sa sarili niya ng dalawang beses para maging 200. Kasi kapag 10, 100 lang. Kapag 20, 400 na yon. So, therefore, hindi perfect square yung 200. Same din dun sa 8. Hindi siya perfect square kasi wala kang mamultiply sa sarili niya ng dalawang beses para ang sagot ay 8. So, paano natin yung gagawin? Pero napansin nyo na yung 200 tsaka 8 ay merong GCF, right? Ano yon? 2. So, therefore, pwede nyo muna yung i-factor kapag hindi perfect square yung constant or numerical coefficient ng variable. So, factor out muna natin yung 2. So, itong 200 magiging 100 na yan. So, 100a squared. Then, minus itong 8 divide 2 magiging 4 na lang. So, 4b squared. Okay. So, ngayon, check nyo yung naging result. Diba yung 100 perfect square na yan? Tsaka yung 4. So, therefore, pwede nyo nang i-factor yung 100a squared as, susulat ulit natin, 2 times quantity. Itong 100a squared, pwede nang i-factor as 10a raised to 2. Right? So, same lang yan kasi 10 squared is 100. Tapos, a squared is a squared. Okay? Minus, itong 4b squared, so pwede yung i-factored as 2b quantity squared. Okay? Kasi 2 squared is 4. Okay? So, ngayon, meron tayong difference of 2 squares. This time, yung first term ay yung mismong 10a at yung second term ay yung mismong 2b. So, therefore, ang factored form niya ay, so, sulat tayo ng dalawang parentheses. So, sulat natin dun sa first term ng bawat factor, yung first term na 10a. So, 10a, saka 10a, okay? And then, dun sa second term ng bawat factors ay yung second term na 2b. So, 2b, tsaka 2b. And then, sulat lang tayo ng isang plus, saka isang minus. Pero, wag natin kakalimutan yung finactor out natin na una na 2. So, isusulat pa rin natin yan sa unahan. So, therefore, the factors of 200a squared minus 8b squared is 2 times quantity 10a plus 2b times quantity 10a minus 2b. Okay? Okay, for the third case, we have factoring the sum or difference of two cubes. So, x cubed plus y cubed equals quantity x plus y times quantity x squared minus xy plus y squared, or x cubed minus y cubed is equal to x minus y times quantity x squared plus xy plus y squared. So, di ba na-encounter natin dun sa multiplication of special products itong form na to? Okay? So, kapag naka-encounter ka ng ganitong form, ang product niya lang ay x cubed plus y cubed. As well as kapag ganitong form naman, ang product niya lang ay x cubed minus y cubed. So, apply din natin yung ganitong concept sa pagka-factor ng sum or difference of two cubes. Okay? So, let's have the first example. So, x cubed plus 8. Meron kang cube sa variable na x. So, pasok to sa first term. How about yung 8? Perfect cube ba yung 8? Yes, kasi yung 2, kapag minultiply mo ng 3 beses sa sarili niya, yun ay 8. So, pwede mong isulat yung 8 as 2 cube, right? So, pag nirewrite natin tong expression natin, pwede yung isulat as x cube plus 2 cube. So, therefore, meron tayong sum of 2 cubes, which is yung base x, saka yung base na 2. So, ang first term natin dito ay yung x, at yung second term natin dito ay yung 2. So, pag in-apply natin yung format na to, this time, dahil plus tayo, ito yung gagamitin nating format. Okay? So, sulat tayo ng dalawang parentheses. So, dun sa first parentheses, susulat natin yung sum nung first saka second term. Kasi plus yung ginamit natin, diba? So, ang first term ay x plus ang second term ay 2. Okay, dun para sa second factor naman, yung first term, square nyo lang yung first term na x. Ano ba yon? X squared, right? Okay. Then dun sa second term, multiply nyo yung x saka 2, yung first saka second term, 2x, right? And then, kailangan i-opposite nyo yung sign. So, kung positive 2x yan, isusulat nyo dito sa second term ay negative 2x. So, dapat ganun lagi, And then, dun sa last term, square nyo lang yung second term na 2. So, 2 squared is positive 4. So, therefore, this is the factor of x cubed plus 8. X plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4. Okay? Okay, for the next example, we have 8a cubed minus 27b cubed. So, this time, meron tayong numerical coefficients dun sa bawat variable. So, naka-cube naman yung bawat variable na a tsaka b. So, pasok to dun sa difference of 2 cubes. So, difference kasi meron tayong minus. Okay? Now, check natin kung perfect cube ba yung 8 tsaka 27. So, kanina nakita natin na yung 8 ay perfect cube, right? So, ang cube root niya ay 2. So, pwede natin isulat yung 8a cube as 2a quantity cube. Okay? Kasi tulad dun sa ginawa natin sa difference of two squares, pwede natin i-distribute tong 3. So, magiging 2 cube a cube or 8a cube nga. Okay? Tapos, minus, itong 27, perfect cube din kasi cube root of 27 is 3. Kasi 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Pag multiply mo ng 3 beses yung 3 sa sarili niya, makukuha mo yung 27. So, therefore, pwede natin itong i-factor as 3b quantity cube. So, pag distribute mo yung 3, we have 3 to the third power or 27 and then b cube or parang ito na yon 27b cube. So, therefore, pwede natin isulat yan as 3b quantity cube. So, therefore, meron tayong difference of 2 cubes. This time, yung first term ay yung buong quantity na 2a, tapos yung second term ay yung buong quantity na 3b. So, apply natin yung factoring of difference of 2 cubes. So, sulat ulit tayo ng dalawang parentheses. Dun sa first parentheses, sulat natin yung difference ng dalawang term. So, difference kasi naka-minus sila. So, we have the first term is 2a minus the second term is 3b. Okay? Then, dun sa first term noong second product, square lang natin tong first term na 2a. So, 2a quantity square. Distribute nyo yun to yun, diba? So, magiging 4a squared. So, sulat natin dito, 4a squared. Tapos, dun sa second term, multiply natin yung first saka second term. This time, negative 3b yung second term natin. So, 2a times negative 3b is negative 6b. Then, dahil gusto natin yung opposite yung sign para dun sa second term, magiging ano yan? Positive 6b. Okay? And then, dun sa last term, square nyo lang yung second term. So, negative 3b yun, diba? So, negative 3b quantity squared, we have, distribute nyo lang din yung 2, magiging negative 3 quantity squared is positive 9. Then, b squared. So, 9b squared. So, plus 9b squared. So, therefore, the factored form is 2a minus 3b times 4a squared plus 6b. So, ito pala dapat ay 6ab. Kasi manipulate natin yung 2a sa negative 3b. So, negative 6ab and then opposite yung sign. So, positive 6ab. Okay, and then yung last term ay 9b squared. Okay? So, for the next example, we have 2x cubed minus 16y to the 6th. Okay, so yung first term, yung variable niya na x, naka-cube. So, wala tayong problema doon. Doon naman sa second term na yung variable na y, naka-raise siya sa 6th power. So, paano yun? Hindi siya naka-3. Pero, pwede natin yung i-factored as y squared quantity cube, right? So, therefore, pwede pa rin siyang maging cube, right? But this time, ang magiging variable mo ay yung y squared. Okay? So, pwede yung second term variable. Now, check natin yung mga constant. Dun sa first term, yung 2, hindi siya pwedeng maging perfect cube, right? So, hindi siya pwedeng ma-enclose sa parenthesis together with x para meron silang exponent na 3. Okay? Dun sa second term na numerical coefficient na 16 kasi hindi siya perfect cube. Wala kang number na i-multiply mo sa sarili niya 3 times para maging 16. Kaso, napapansin nyo, yung 2 tsaka 16, meron siyang common factor or GCF na 2. So, gaya nung ginawa natin dun sa example natin dun sa difference of 2 squares, i-factor out muna natin yung GCF nila na 2. So, magiging ano yan? 2 times itong first term, magiging x cube na lang kasi factor out na natin yung 2, minus itong second term, 16 divided by 2 is 8. So, meron tayong 8y to the 6th. Okay, so napansin nyo, yung naging term natin doon sa parenthesis ay meron na lang x cube minus 8y to the 6th. So, yung x cube, parang 1 lang yung numerical coefficient niya. So, perfect cube naman yung 1, diba? So, pwede natin i-factor yon. Or kahit hindi na natin i-factor kasi x cube naman na yon. And then, itong second term na 8y to the 6th, so, yung 8 perfect cube na. So, pwede na natin i-factor. So, pag ginawa natin yon, itong first term, x cube pa rin. So, as is lang. Minus, itong 8, pwede siyang maging base na 2. Tapos, pag kinube mo, 8. Okay, so, pwede siyang ma-enclose sa parenthesis as 2. And then, yung y nga kanina, ginawa natin yung y squared, diba? Okay, and then, naka-raise sila pareho dun sa power na 3. So, cube. Okay? And huwag natin kakalimutan yung 2 na factor out natin initially. So therefore, meron na tayong difference of 2 cubes. So ang first term natin ay itong x at yung second term natin ay itong mismong 2y squared. Okay, so para i-factor natin to, sulat ulit tayo ng dalawang parentheses. Okay? Then dun sa unang parentheses or dun sa unang factor, sulat natin yung difference ng first and second term. So yung first term ay x minus yung second term ay 2y squared. Okay, then dun sa first term nung second factor, square lang natin yung first term na x. So x squared. Okay? And then dun sa second term, multiply natin tong x saka itong negative 2y squared. So x times negative 2y squared is negative 2xy squared. Pero kailangan, ang requirement ay opposite nung sign nung nakuha nating product para dun sa second term. So gagawin nating positive 2xy squared. Okay, and then yung last term, square lang natin yung second term na this time negative 2y squared. So negative 2y squared quantity squared is, distribute natin yung exponent na 2 sa magiging negative 2 times negative 2, 4. Tapos y raised to the second power times 2 is y to the 4th. So positive 4y to the 4th. Okay? Tapos huwag natin kakalimutan yung una nating finactor out na GCF na 2. So sulat pa natin yung dito sa unahan. Okay, so therefore, it is the final factor. Okay, so that's it for the topic, factoring polynomials with special factors. So sana ay may natutunan kayo sa video na to at maraming salamat sa panonood.